So today I'm going to show you how to set up the EcoTank ET-2800. Basically it's a printer, it's a scanner, it's wireless, and it could also be wired. So first thing, you got to open up the box. Basically instructions. These are the things that you're going to fill the ink tanks up with. So these are going to last thousands of printing pages, whereas if you just have a regular ink cartridge, they usually run out after about 200 to 600 pages, depending on the brand. So these are much more economical. So you get your power cable. With these printers, one thing you have to be careful about is once you put ink in them, they can tip over and they could spill. So put them in place before you fill up the tanks. Get all the safety tape off. Okay, all the tape's good. So like I said, so one thing you want to be careful with, don't fill up the ink until it's in the position that you want, because if you tip it, basically this ink has tubes that run through this that basically you can spill it. So make sure you're in a good spot and you're not going to be tipping it over after you fill the ink. So we're going to hook all this up first. Now this is a wireless one, but it's also has the capability of being wired. So for power, we have the power here, so we're just going to plug that in. So we're going to plug this in. I have instructions here. You can also scan this if you want to follow it on your phone or your tablet or computer. Press the power button. So you're going to push the power button. Then we need to get the tanks ready. So we're going to start with the black tank. So we need to cut these open. Now, do note that if this gets on your rug or on your clothes, get it off immediately. There's no guarantee that it's coming off. It is ink, so it does stain. So if you'd notice, I have a lot of paper towels just in case, and I've covered up my floor just in case I drop anything. So if you notice, these are all vacuum sealed, so you're going to rip these open as you go. This helps to make sure that you don't spill it or anything. If you see here, it says you're going to select your language. So this says English. So I'm going to say OK. Finish setup using Smart Panel. So I'm going to not use this, and I'm going to say no, and I'm not going to use the app. So for the EcoTank, I'm just going to open that up like that. Going to take the black ink, open that. So we're going to open this up. We have to match this to the color. So right here it has black, it's black. They're supposed to be keyed in such a way that you can't put the wrong one in the wrong cartridge. So we'll put this here. You don't want to squeeze this or do anything to the bottle. It's going to go and it's going to fill this up until it stops. And it should stop when it hits the top. Okay, it stopped. Now be very careful. Keep this, but I'd suggest put these in plastic bags. They don't spill on anything. So you close the lid, and we'll open the next lid, and this goes for each of these. Now we have the yellow one. You can hear it, and you can see it filling up here in the front. So we're going to let it go, and it'll stop itself when it gets to the top. Okay, so it stopped. Pull straight out. Cap this. Close. Magenta. Close that. We can close the cover now. So to load the paper, what you do is you just come back here, lift this up, pull this out, and then you're going to adjust these to the width of the paper. Put the paper in. Okay. Good. So now we're just going to press the help button for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start initialization. Confirm that the tank is filled with ink. So I'm going to say yes. And it says to go to the start button, which is this. So we're going to hit start. This is going to take some time to initialize. Do not touch anything. It's going to take about 11 minutes, it's saying. So right now it's just running through its checks, making sure the rollers are good. It's making sure the ink's here. It needs to pump the ink through a bunch of tubes inside the printer to get it primed. So this takes a little bit of time. I guess I should probably put, this is where your paper comes out. So it says initialization complete. So we're going to say OK to be done. Now it says, do you want to align the printer head to get the best print quality? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say OK and adjust. Perform a print head nozzle check to check print quality. I'm going to say print, so OK. Load letter. Print. I'm going to use this button. So it's going to print a page. See how the first page comes out. So it printed the black ink, the yellow, the magenta, and the cyan. So it has all the different colors. Are there any missing segments? I'm going to say no. Say adjust. Look at the printout and choose boxes with the least lines on the next screen. Select the number. Oh, okay. So it wants to know which of these have the least number of skip lines. So I'm gonna say, all right, this is a bit of a setup. So we're gonna say okay to proceed. Select number 1. 3 has the least. So yes, so okay. Number 2, line number 2. I think 4 has the least. 5? No, it's gotta be 5. 5 has the least in line 2. So I'm gonna say okay. Now for line number 3. Number 5 looks like it has the least. So we're gonna say okay. Line number 4. I'm looking, it's either between 4 or 5. I'm gonna say 5. Okay. Line number 5. I'm gonna say number 5 has the least. Okay. Line number 6. Which one has the least number of lines? I would say it's number 6. Line number 7. I'd say it's number 6. Okay, so it's going to print another one. So we're going to say print. It's like a multiple choice question. Alright. Choose rectangles that are not separated or overlapping. I think every one of these is touching. Okay. Select number. Which one is not overlapping? Oh man, this is like an exam. I think number 5 is not overlapping. You can adjust again using maintenance. Okay, cool. So we're good with that. So I'm going to set this up on my desktop for wireless internet. But if you do have a spare printer cable, pretty much all these are standard. Grab it off an old printer that you're getting rid of, or you can pick one of these up. I'll leave it in the description below. But effectively, you can just take this, plug it into your computer. It makes it a lot easier. But we're going to go through the Wi-Fi setup. So I'm going to first install the software on my computer. ET-2800. Okay, and that's for the US. And if you were in Canada, instead of .com, it would be .ca. Okay. So, downloads. So we're going to go to downloads. Choose an operating system. So come here, Windows 10, 64, 32-bit. So if you don't know what you have, come down here to the Start menu, right click, come up to System, and you're going to scroll down. What you're going to see is it'll tell you what edition you have. Windows Home 10. And I need to know how many. So the system type is 64-bit Windows 10. Okay. So I need Windows 10 64-bit. So I'm going to go. Accept.
Okay, so we're going to go Windows 10, 64-bit. I'm going to go down here and download. So I have my executable. So I'm going to run that and say yes, allow it to make changes. Okay, continue. Basically read through all of this. As you see, I am also doing so. You can leave these checked, but I tend not to. Okay. So I need to make sure the printer is turned on. Filling the tanks. I finished filling the ink tanks. So it located it. Do you want to connect it to the network automatically? I want to say yes. Your computer's current network prevents device sharing. This will disable some network scanning from the control panel. Would you like to enable sharing? Yes. Okay. And now it's time to run down and get my network name and password. So now that we have the password, I'll put that in here. So I'm going to do automatic configuration because this is just going to keep changing. Some people do pay for static IP addresses, but most residential use effectively you're going to have, it's going to change every month or so, so just put it to this first one. If you pay for a specific static address, you could do that as well, but the first one is probably going to be what's best for most people in a residential use. So we're going to install this. So I'm hitting the print test page.
And we're in luck. Printer works. Cool. Now, if you wanted to, you could skip all the Wi-Fi stuff if you just have a printer cable and just install the software and then go from there. But a lot of people nowadays want the Wi-Fi option, so yep, there we go. It's all good for wireless operation. All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoy this, please subscribe. There's a lot more do-it-yourself type repair videos, installation of equipment. Alright, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Now, this is a wireless one, but it's also has the capability of being wired. Now, this doesn't come along with this. This is a printer type USB. It's a printer USB to the old style of USB. You can also get it from the printer to Type C USB and things like that. So this is both wired and wireless, so you can connect it to Wi-Fi, so I'll do that as well. So if you like wired, it goes in here. Alright, so we'll turn this around. Printer cable, that's a USB, and you can go into the back of your computer or in the front, it doesn't really matter. And what you should see is on your PC something will pop up that will say, would you like to connect the device? And you can actually use it just wired. And just make sure that when you do go to print something that you select the desired printer. So you can either do it Wi-Fi, which is networked, or if you basically connect it with a wire, it will give you the same option for the same printer, except for saying networked, it'll just say the printer name. And those are the two different ways you can print.